some bold predictions for 2023 and some that you might not have thought of. Let's get to it. Before we start, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content. This is about 2023 bold predictions, and I thought mine last season were bold. No, those were really dumb, and some of them were correct, sure, but I went a little easy on myself there. These ones, there is some ways I can very well fail really hard with these predictions, but let's spill them out. Let's go. Starting with prediction number 1. Going really easy and ramping up the difficulty of these predictions, I think winning only 2 races this season, no more, no less, Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski. I thought Brad would win 2 or maybe 3 races last season, and obviously that didn't happen. I would like that to happen this year. Again, he's always a contender at super speedways. I would like to think he'd be a contender at MIS this season as well. As for Kevin Harvick, he could really win at any track in my opinion. I was looking at the stats a few days ago for the entire season, who was best at which track, and Kevin Harvick has most of those records. So I think Kevin Harvick has a good chance of winning. However, knowing it's his last season, it's the question of will that be a distraction or will he go out on a high note? So I think he has a good chance of winning 2 races, but that is it. So if they win more or less than 2 races, my prediction is wrong. So future Taylor, keep that in your brain. But Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick winning only 2 races this season. Another prediction I have is that this year's going to be filled with tension. Maybe not necessarily a prediction, more so as it probably will be with the new TV deal. We have a rumor that there might be a separation with some one-off races with some of NASCAR's stars. I mean, we already kind of have that with SRX anyways. We also have safety concerns that we're hoping were addressed during the offseason, and we have really big names that contracts are up at the end of this year. Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin are 2 that come to mind for me. Denny Hamlin is confident that he will get his contract signed, but I don't know. Ross Chastain, someone else who we wouldn't imagine would leave Trackhouse Racing, but if there's another spot open somewhere else, would he move? So a lot of uncertainty and a lot of tension there. So I feel like 2023, though it should be the season things slow down, I think we're in for a little bit more than we bargained for. I think, of course, teams figured out the cars, but I think it's going to get a little bit more competitive on and off the track. Prediction number 3 is that we will see a rain race on a short track. Obviously, we have wet tires for road courses. However, NASCAR did recently announce that they are allowing rain tires at shorter tracks like North Wilkesboro, Richmond, Martinsville, the LA Coliseum. Phoenix and New Hampshire were also on that list, but one that surprised me was Bristol. Bristol was not on that list at all. So at least those are the tracks that they're looking for with having rain tires, and knowing how the season goes and how lucky NASCAR gets with weather, we're definitely going to see drivers racing in the rain sometime this season on a short track. Speaking of rain, that leads me to my next prediction, which is, unfortunately, because knowing my luck, I think the 600 will be rained out, whether it's delayed for a few hours or to the next day. I think that's just going to happen. This is the one race I'm going to as a vacation this year, so yeah, I hope it doesn't happen, trust me, but I had to throw in a prediction somewhere, somehow, that was a little unfortunate. So that is another prediction I think is going to happen. Next up, I think we're going to have 13 different winners this season. I know we capped off the season with 21 different winners, and that's a lot. I think teams have figured out these cars a little bit more, meaning there's going to be less parity on the track with who we see win. Obviously, we have some rookies in the field, we have some drivers that are still looking for a win, and we could probably see some first-time winners this season. I absolutely guarantee that we will. However, I don't think we're going to see that huge 2019-21 winner count. I think we're gonna just see like 13 or maybe less, but if I'm gonna be bold, I'm gonna just stick with the number 13. If we go over, I'm wrong on this prediction. If we go under, I am wrong. So 13 different winners for the 2023 season is what I think is gonna happen. Here's where you are all going to not like me. I have a few predictions left that are a little bit more bold. So starting off with, I think after this season, Joe Gibbs Racing is going to have to fill 2 empty seats. Those being Martin Truex Jr., who I think will announce his retirement this season. And I think, though Denny Hamlin is confident, we saw a confident Kyle Busch going into a deal where he didn't have a sponsor, M&M's was leaving the sport, and Joe Gibbs Racing wasn't able to find him partnerships, sponsorships, money to keep him in his ride, and he had to leave to a different team. I think, though I'm hoping this is not the case, that might be the case for Denny Hamlin. I think FedEx is maybe not going to stay on. He's going to lose his ride, and then he might have to drive for himself at 23XI Racing. And that's where I'm bold. I could probably be half right on this answer because I can probably guarantee you that Truex will announce his retirement. It could be an Eric Almirola situation where maybe he stays on longer than we thought, even though Eric Almirola announced his retirement, then he decided to stay. but I think Truex has kind of been playing around with the idea that he's done. So we'll have to see if he goes out with Kevin Harvick. However, with Denny Hamlin, that's the part of the prediction I'm not sure about. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I know that's going to be a hot topic going into this season. I gotta talk about road courses now. I know the fans really want there to be no more stage cautions at these road course races. So I think NASCAR is maybe gonna listen and before our first road course race announce that they're stopping stage cautions. Or maybe this is something they implement in the middle of the season to make a change. Or maybe before 2024 they announce that that change is going to be made. But I think maybe NASCAR is leaning towards the sides of the fans this time, and maybe this will make road course racing a little bit more interesting. So I think at some point this season, whether it's before we get our first race or in the middle of the season, we're going to see that stage racing cautions will cease to exist at road courses. I really wanted to make a prediction about the playoff format, that it would change. I'm gonna just put that in here. It's not a solid prediction and it's not one I'm gonna like solidify as one of my predictions, but I would like NASCAR to reconsider some of the playoff format, just a little bit going into 2024. But speaking of the playoffs, I do believe that the winner of the 2023 championship is only gonna have 3 wins in the entire season, one of those being at Phoenix. And the final prediction that is the boldest one yet, and I'm probably going to look back at this video and laugh my face off, but I truly think that this year we will not see one of the 3 powerhouse teams of last year, a Penske, a Hendrick, or a Gibbs, win the championship. I think it's going to be a team maybe like Trackhouse. RFK could shock the world and win the championship. It could be SHR. They find themselves a championship yet again. So I just don't think it's going to be one of the 3 main teams. So that's probably my boldest prediction. If I'm right, I wish I would put money on this, but I will be shocked. But I had to go out of this video making a bold prediction that everyone was like, Taylor, you are insane. So guys, those are my bold predictions and not so bold predictions for 2023. What do you think of them all? And do you have some of your own? Leave those in the comments below. And with that, we are done with this episode of ATYL. Make sure to check out our social media pages at _TaylorKitchen_, at Above the Yellow Line, and at TobyChristieCom for more great motorsports content. And last but not least, I want to give a major shout out to our great partners, Shaq and FilterTime, for supporting us here at Above the Yellow Line, and TobyChristie.com. Make sure to use their promo codes to get great deals. Toby15 is the new one for FilterTime. If you use that on your first order, you get 15% off. But that's all for this episode. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, I'll see ya. Like this video, make sure to check out the 2 other videos on the screen for you right here.